So I'm a guy from Nijlen, and I make sound machines. When I got the invitation to talk at TEDxBrainport, I got really excited. And I think a week after, I went to my grandpa's place, and I said, "Grandpa, I'm going to speak at this event, and it's big, and I want you to come." And he goes, "So what do you do?" I say, I talk about what I do, about what I make, about what I want to do, about sound, about people." And he goes, "So you want me to come all the way up to Eindhoven just to watch you talk? Just have a beer, you're my grandson." And that's the case. It's for everybody. We say we have to teach the young people, but we have to teach the old people, or not teach, but just show them what we do. And what I want to show you is something somebody once told me, and he say, best ideas start out of a big frustration. Well, mine started out of a bigger frustration. When I had to pick schools, I had to choose between music school and design school. I played drums back then, and I couldn't do music school because I couldn't read notes. I could play the parts by looking at YouTube, but I couldn't do it. So I went to do design school, which was great. And when I had to pick my graduation project, my thesis, it all came back to me. I said, why are we still using a kind of ancient system to play music? Because since the 80s, digital music came up. Until a time now, we cannot come up with music that is not digitally made or digitally processed. So the music is kind of revolutionary, but the instruments we control the music are ancient. We started hitting snares. We developed a piano, a guitar. We stretched skins. We created a drum. We had a wooden stick. We drilled a hole in it, and we had a flute. But what we do now is we just digitalize them. We have a piano, we get a synthesizer, or an electric piano, a guitar, electric guitar, drums, electric drums, flute, robot flutes. So what's the point? They're really hard to play. So why are we still going back to kind of that stage? Because it's a habit, and we don't like to break habits. So what I did, I wanted to make something new, back to the start. So I looked at people and how people move. Everybody can dance, or everybody thinks he can dance. Grandpa. So if you have sound and then you move, you could first move and then you have sound. Because it's kind of a two-way street. If you can capture movement, you can turn it into sound. And then you have to learn to play it because you're already doing it. It's kind of intuitive movements that you translate into sound. So I did a project which is called Sound on Intuition. And I'm going to show you 5 instruments that kind of translate the most intuitive behaviors into sound. And the first one is called WOP. And it's the idea of, I think a lot of people know the theremin, the idea of motion. So if you want to have a waving sound, just make a waving motion. If you want to hit a high note, low note, you can reach high or reach low. So it's kind of really intuitive. And what it does, it kind of, everybody's movement is unique. So it captures your uniqueness, and it transforms it into kind of computer code and then into sound. So the sounds that you create are really unique because it's you. Now the second one I want to show you is the idea of everybody always taps with his finger on the table. So everybody creates a rhythm. Now if you could just not make a new instrument, but just track that kind of movement and then punch it. And then when you bend your finger, can we turn it up a bit? And when you bend your finger, the sound changes. So now we copy-paste everything. And if you copy-paste something, if you copy-paste something, or you, it's always the same. There's no uniqueness, there's no personality in it anymore. It's like when a drummer plays, every hit is unique. So now you can capture every unique sound. Now the third one is a simple idea of a kick drum, of everybody tapping with his foot. And I always say it's a simple idea, because it's that simple. It's a rubber band you pull around your foot, so you transform your foot into kind of an instrument, except of making an instrument that you control with your foot. So, and the sounds are not, the instruments don't, there are no sounds in the instrument. They just play the computer. The sounds are in the computer. So you don't control the computer, but you play the computer. Now, the fourth one is hard. And if I read blogs or magazines that write about this, everybody says this is kind of the most intuitive because you can't cheat it. Because it has been proven that if you listen to loud music, your heart will try to match the tempo of the music. That's why people get so hyped up if they listen to hardcore music. So if you put a sound on every heartbeat, you can hear your heart just make sounds about the music. And that's the most unique you can go, because you can't cheat it. Or imagine that you match the tempo of your heart to the song, because if live bands speed up, or live bands get excited, they speed up. Now with electronic music, it's all flat. So imagine when you get excited, you speed up, or let your imagination go wild. Now the fifth one I want to show you, or the last one, is called draw. And draw is about paper music, sheet music. Everybody knows paper music, but I think who in this audience knows how to read well paper music? That's not so much. And we still call it drawing music. It's not drawing music, it's coding music. And it's a really good system, but it's complex, it's not intuitive, it's not fun when you start with it. So if I think about drawing music, I think about drawing, because everybody knows how to draw. So if you could just draw dots or lines, if you want a high note, low note, just draw it, or lines that you want to have a sound that goes up and down. And then you just scan it and it plays it. And it's not perfect. It's not perfect at all, but we're not perfect, so why create perfect music? I think a lot of times it's the imperfections that make it so beautiful. That's why we like live music, because it's not perfect. Now, the first time when I showed this project, I think it was at the graduation show, the Design Academy, a lot of people told me, so why don't you build a robot suit? Who wants to wear a robot suit? I don't, maybe a few people. But I think it's about, a lot of people build big installations. It's about capturing the fun and the uniqueness of a big installation and just put it into a small device that everybody can use. Because that's fun, and we should have fun. I think another thing, I think it was the second day, a woman came up to me and she goes, wow, I've been working with autistic children for 20 years now, and I think this is what they need. Instruments that understand them. They don't have to learn the computer. The instruments, they just listen to what they do, and they will sit there for 4 or 5 hours, and they just play. So like every designer does to boost his ego, I go, oh yeah, of course, yeah, I thought of it. So there's more how do you say, routes you can go with this. It started off as a music project, but it evolved in a kind of a way of controlling your computer, interacting with your computer. Because we as humans, we have been building computers. And we are learning computer language by typing in commands. But why don't we build computers that speak our language? For example, body language. I'm going to show you something. Thank you.